I want to read a letter from a young man who lives in Danbury, Connecticut. I am a constituent of yours, and I became a victim of gun violence when my 7-year-old cousin, Daniel Barton, was murdered at Sandy Hook Elementary School in 2012. I am no longer, quote, saddened, end quote, by recent mass shooting. I am instead angry and frustrated by the inaction of this nation's leaders to implement obvious and basic safeguards to gun ownership, such as universal background checks, CDC research into gun violence, limiting magazine capacity, restriction of gun ownership to domestic abusers and people on terrorist watch lists, to name a few. One of the most infuriating aspects of the continued mass shootings in this country is that they are so eminently preventable. We can't do much about earthquakes or hurricanes, but it is pretty simple to just not sell military-grade weapons to civilians, or just not sell AR-15s to domestic abusers who have been investigated by the FBI for terrorist connections and threats. I am furious and feel powerless. I beg you to stand up for me, my family, everyone who has ever lost family or friends to senseless gun violence, and for our society as a whole, which we are currently failing to protect. Enough is enough. That is from a young person who lives in Danbury, Connecticut. And it summarizes the feeling of powerlessness and helplessness and fury that Americans all across the country feel.